Hello, it's Adrian here, and I thought it'd be quite fun to carry on with the top 10 rarest titles. So today, I thought I'd look at the good old PS2. Did you know that over 1,850 games were released for the PlayStation 2, with many worth no more than a bag of chips down the local chippy? However, like any console, there are a growing handful truthfully, of extremely rare and valuable PS2 titles, which are now worth a small fortune. Are you lucky enough to own any of the top 10 rarest and valuable PS2 games?
The ultimate just got better. PlayStation 9. Teleport yours today.
In 10th place, we have Dragon Blaze. Dragon Blaze is a top-down shoot-'em-up and was originally a Japanese exclusive title. The version that is by far the rarest and most valuable though is the PAL release. It was released across Europe as a budget title and in very small quantities. In the game you ride huge dragons to help bring carnage against your foes. Dragon Blaze is colourful, frantic and good fun. Dragon Blaze was actually originally a very popular Japanese arcade game, and copies of the game today can be sold for around £125. So what are your chances of finding a copy? Your search will likely drag on and on. In 9th place we have Haunting Ground. Haunting Ground is a highly respected survival horror title created by Capcom and was released in 2005. The game has many connections to Clock Tower 3 and is often regarded as a spiritual successor to the series. The story follows Fiona Belly, who awakes in a castle's dungeon following a car accident. Fiona quickly joins forces with Huey, a white shepherd that is often at hand to help Fiona escape the castle. Haunting Ground boasts stunning graphics and the fun dog mechanics add an extra layer to the game. The game's story has been criticised though for being too repetitive and predictable. PAL copies of Haunting Ground can sell for around £130, whereas North American copies can sell for anything over $600. So what are your chances of finding a copy? Well, Haunting Ground, more like Daunting Ground. In 8th place we have Zeno Saga Episode 3. This classy science fiction based RPG was developed by Monolith Soft and published by Namco. It is the final entry in the Zeno Saga trilogy and overall series. The main protagonists of the game are Shion Uzuki and Cosmos, who is a battle android. The game was praised by critics but did receive mixed reviews from players and ultimately failed to sell a lot of copies. Zeno Saga 3's lukewarm reception actually led to the development of the highly acclaimed Xenoblade Chronicles. You can pick up a copy of Zeno Saga 3 for around £150. So, chances of finding a copy today? It will be a real saga to find this game. In 7th place we have Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a survival horror game published by Konami. It was released on the PS2 in 2010. The game is a controversial reimagining of the first Silent Hill game. You take control of Harry Mason and again aim to find your missing daughter, but set in a fictional universe with different characters and a whole new plot. The game boasts 5 different endings, so there is a chance to replay the game. Silent Hill Shattered Memories gained mixed reviews and remains a very divisive title in this series to this very day. A complete in-box version of this game can sell for around £220. So what are your chances of finding a copy? Well, sorry guys, your dreams will be shattered.
Why won't you take this seriously?
Sorry.
Cheryl is in trouble.
Cheryl is always in trouble.
And in 6th place we have Blood Will Tell. Blood Will Tell is a Sega game based on the popular manga series Dororo. The game tells the morbid story of Hyakkimaru, who has most of his body stolen by 48 enemies. Your task is quite simple: defeat all of the 48 body harvesters. Blood Will Tell is a highly action orientated game full of sword swinging and samurai action. Overall the game received mixed to lukewarm reviews. Blood Will Tell though does sell for around £250 today. So your chances of finding a copy? Well, you'll likely need to sell some of your body to afford a copy. And in 5th place we have DotHack Quarantine. DotHack is an innovative series of games made by CyberConnect 2. The 4 games released were DotHack Infection, DotHack Mutation, DotHack Outbreak and finally DotHack Quarantine, with the latter being the rarest and most sought after title. All of the DotHack games feature a game within a game, a fictional RPG called The World. An extra twist in this series is that the massively multiplayer online RPG is not actually connected to the internet. Instead, the game is fully simulated. The player controls Kite, an on-screen character from a third-person perspective. The game was praised for its originality and unusual setting. However, poor camera controls and repetitive environments did tarnish the game for some players. DotHack Quarantine and its previous titles arguably suffered for being ahead of its time. A good condition copy of this game can now sell for around £400. So your chances of finding a copy? Well, you'll likely go dotty searching for a copy. In 4th place we have Ocean Commander. Ocean Commander is best known as a Wii title. However, it was released in very small quantities on the PS2. Ocean Commander is a low-budget side-scrolling shoot-'em-up based underwater in the year 3011. The game is mediocre at best and received poor overall reviews. It looks cute, but it is flawed in many ways. The game was actually made by a Dutch team, yet was only released in Italy on the PS2, hence why the game is now so rare. Ocean Commander now commands a fee of around £450. Your chances of finding a copy? You'll need to travel to the deepest depths to find this game. In 3rd place we have Michigan Report from Hell. Developed by Grasshopper manufacturer, Michigan Report from Hell is quickly becoming one of the most sought after titles on the PS2. It was only ever released in Japan and Europe, with the game never released in North America, yet being set in Chicago. The game follows a news crew investigating Chicago after a mysterious mist covers the city following a plane crash. The game is best described as a combination of an adventure title mixed with survival horror elements. I'm thinking Pokemon Snap mixed with Silent Hill. Michigan Report from Hell overall ending is influenced by what the player actually captures on film. Copies of the game can sell for around £500. So the chances of finding a copy? Well, when hell freezes over, I guess. We have Kuan. Kuan is another classy survivor horror title to make the list. This 2004 game was developed by From Software and is easily one of the hardest titles to find on the PS2 today. The game is set in Japan's Heian period and follows 3 protagonists during a monster outbreak. The main aim of Kuan was to create a dark narrative around Japanese ghost stories. The major plus points of Kuan was the game's amazing atmosphere and stunning graphics. However, it did receive some criticism for its poor controls and overall gameplay. A good copy of Kuan today can now sell for anything around £600. So your chances of finding a copy? Here today, Kuan tomorrow. And the rarest and arguably most sought after game on the PS2 today is Rule of Rose. Rule of Rose also happens to be one of the most controversial games ever released. This survival horror title was developed by Punchline and released in 2006.
Wait.
The game is set in England in 1930 and revolves around a 19-year-old woman named Jennifer. Jennifer becomes trapped in a world ruled by young girls who put in place a dark hierarchy system aptly titled the Red Crayon Aristocrats. The game focuses on traumatic childhood memories, which each level taking place over a month. Early in the story, Jennifer befriends a dog called Brown, who then accompanies her throughout the game. Brown can respond to your demands and help locate key items in each level. The game took inspiration and dark ideas found in many fairy tales by Brothers Grimm and Edward Gorey. Just before its release, Rule of Rose was the subject of a moral panic across the globe. European Union's Justice Minister Franco Frattini attacked the game as containing obscene cruelty and brutality. The game was subsequently cancelled in numerous countries, which made Rule of Rose extremely difficult to find. This, of course, has made the game extremely rare and is now worth a small fortune. Mint copies of Rule of Rose can sell for over £650. So what's your chances of finding a copy? Well, he who dares not grasp the thorn should never find the rose. Other rare and expensive PS2 titles include the Getaway Limited Edition, Futurama, Kingdom Hearts, the first print, God of War, again the first print edition, Hard Knock High, Samurai Western, the Silent Hill Collection, Obscure, Ibarra, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Thank you for listening to that rundown of the top 10 rarest PS2 titles. Please also feel free to check out the top 10 rarest N64 titles. There's a handy link around this video just about now. We've also covered our own personal favourite PS2 titles in the past on the Arcade Attack podcast, so feel free to check that out and shout at us and say you are wrong. While you're there, please feel free to subscribe to our podcast and listen to us talk about the good old days of gaming. Well, thanks for listening guys, and I'll see you soon on another video.